Hello and welcome to Red Flags. We're your hosts, Dave, Opie, and Al, and today we are talking about a hidden horror gem in the 2006 film Behind the Mask, The Rise of Leslie Vernon.
The Rise of Leslie Vernon. This one I forgot about.
Yep.
I can't believe you guys
Same
have
here.
watched this.
Yep.
That's amazing.
I watched it, it had to have been 5-6 years ago, somewhere around in there.
Let me ask you, where did you see it? Where did you watch it?
I want to say it could have been on like Netflix.
It had to
something
have
like
been.
that. Yep.
It had to have been because I know that like I had heard about it and I looked it up and I watched it, but I forgot about it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Like I got to the point where I was like, I like knew about it because like when we talked about it before, I was like, yeah, Behind the Mask. I fucking loved that movie. I wanted to see it so bad, and I apparently had already watched it.
The part that sounded familiar was the name Leslie Vernon.
That blows my mind because I've thought of this movie as like a horror, sort of like typical horror fans might not have seen this one. You kind of have to dig a little bit into horror to find this movie. You know, I see it kind of in the deep end of horror. You know, so
Yeah.
I'm surprised you guys have watched that. That's amazing.
Well, Dave always looks for the most random ass movies, like lesbian vampire killers. John dies at the end. Like these are all movies that I would have never heard of unless Dave was a fan of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I like those weird, obscure ones.
That's good though. That's where you find like good stuff like this.
Yeah, this was fantastic.
That's awesome.
So tell me about it. What do you got? You got notes. I didn't take notes.
I didn't take a ton of notes because I don't think this one is too, like Wes Craven's New Nightmare. There's kind of a lot going on. We talked about how it's a little, the meta is a little blurrier than I'd say.
In Wes Craven's New Nightmare?
Yeah.
It is not blurrier.
Well, I'm not saying it's
There's a lot
blurry.
going on.
Yes, I'm not saying it's blurry. I'm saying this one and Scream are cleaner
Yes.
as far as how to follow what's going on. So, yeah, I think this one's a little better than even Wes Craven's New Nightmare.
Well, it's a different vibe. It's
Oh, it's a way
100%
different
a
vibe,
different
yes.
vibe. This is more comedy. Actually, it's classified as horror comedy,
Yeah.
which is good
There
because
was a good amount of horror to it. Just
yeah.
It had comedy in the right places.
Yeah.
yeah, like and it's doing it just right because where it's like poking fun at the genre itself.
Yeah.
Like they even say like, oh, the gratuitous, titty scene, and then they like literally will show tits.
Yeah.
And they're like, come on, man. Like, because they did this thing where he's like explaining how to kill people, like how he's going to.
He's explaining the entire layout of basically like a horror movie. How they're going to act, react, where they're going to go, and how he sets it up in his favor.
Yep.
Yeah. And then they'll do like cut scenes where they'll like show it happening.
Yep.
And so he's explaining like, oh, and then they'll have a sex scene and then it'll show it on the screen.
Yep. So it's easy to follow. That's what I appreciate about this movie is that it's very easy to follow.
As a horror movie fan, quote unquote, I really got excited about it right away because they put it in the mind frame that you're in a world where all the horror movies are reality. Like they're living in a world where Freddy exists, where Jason exists, where Michael Myers exists.
And not only just exists, but were, as they explained, legends. Like they brought the game to a whole new level.
Yep. The murder game.
Yep.
Yeah. So like they're our worlds like Ted Bundy and Dahmer and what's that clown guy's name again? Gacy.
That's a good question. Do those guys exist in this world?
I don't know.
They never mentioned anything like that.
Maybe they're just hacks,
Yeah. And so you got this lady, what's this character's name? The main journalist. She's doing like a documentary on another guy who there was a backstory about him where he like got caught and thrown over a waterfall or something, but he survived.
Yeah.
As a child, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so now it's him as an adult, and he's gonna go on a
He's going to make his reappearance because everyone thinks he's dead.
yeah.
Yep.
And so they're gonna, and he's like explaining just like in a Jason style. Not yeah. I would classify it as like Jason is his favorite.
Maybe it's sort of that where he went away as a kid and is coming back as an adult to murder, people
Yeah.
in his
People in his town. People in his well, I don't know if it's his town, but because I think he's from a neighboring town.
He's from Vegas, technically.
Well, that's a whole backstory thing too that they get into.
yeah.
They do a lot of twists and turns in this, which is nice.
That's what I mean. It's clean. It's where you can those twists and turns. It's not complicated. You're not weirded out. You're like, I get it. Okay.
And even though they're laying this out in a way that it's like cliche, you still are like, oh, that was pretty clever.
As a horror movie fan, I was never offended.
Yeah.
I think it's.
But the cliche was done comedy
Yes.
to
They
make
point
fun
out,
of it, but at the same time, like the ending, even though you were kind of laughing about it, the ending and how the whole thing came together was,
Yeah.
I thought it was great.
Yeah, it was like you said at the end of the movie. He's like, they forget that he covered in that petroleum
Yep.
fire retardant stuff.
Yeah.
So, of course
So, yeah,
he's
you-
gonna come back.
So you got the lady, and she's like being a journalist, and she's following around Leslie Vernon,
That's Angela Giothals,
and she looks so familiar.
Taylor Gentry.
Ooh, I wanted to mention this too right away in the beginning. She's doing like an explanation of like, you got Freddy and you got Jason, and here's the house on Elm Street, and she's like, oh hey sir, who's like a neighbor going into his house.
Yep, on Elm
Right.
Street.
And she's like, what's it like to be the neighbor of? And the guy like goes in quickly and closes the door, and I was like, Dave, that's Kane Hodder.
Oh yeah, he's in this. This is a star-studded cast.
It is huge with the cast. And this lady, she looked so familiar, and I cannot tell you what I've seen her in before. And it might have been this. It might have been the fact that I had seen this
She's maybe 'cause
and forgot
she's
about it, you
in
know?
a few things. A fun fact: she is in a Home Alone deleted scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever the fuck that is. Law and
Well, she
Order,
would have had to have been
Life,
tiny. This movie
Behind the
came out
Mask,
in
Grey's Anatomy.
2006.
24. If you ever watched that,
Never watched it.
6 Feet Under. If you ever watched that,
Never watched it.
Oh, yeah, she's in a lot of shows. She was a TV person.
Yeah. Well, this came out in 2006.
Oh, she's just credited as Linny in Home Alone.
Hey, you know what else is interesting?
What?
Remember last time when I was talking about the perfect length of a horror movie?
Yeah,
How long is this movie?
it's
Over
90
an hour and a half.
yeah,
It's
90
91 minutes.
91 minutes. Okay, the perfect length. It was
90 minutes is supposed to be the length, and it's 91
Yeah,
minutes.
but it was good.
But you know what? It's worth it because they do a credit scene.
Yeah, so it
I
gives you entertainment all the way through the credits. It gives you entertainment the whole film,
Yeah. There's never really a dull ass moment.
except for the credits, until the very last second of the credits. But otherwise, you're just kind of watching a very boring scene.
Yeah, but during the credits, they're playing Talking Heads,
Yeah,
Psycho
that's
Killer. So I was into that, and I was singing along.
Right. And you're not really caring. That's fair. So, should we talk about... I'm going to name off some people in this movie.
Do it.
Zelda Rubinstein.
Who is that?
She's that little old lady. She's from
Yes.
Poltergeist. Yeah.
Yes.
We got Robert Englund. Now, get this. His name is Doc Holleran.
Yes. And we talked about that last time where we were talking about how everything that he's in, he plays like a fucking doctor.
Yep. Doc Holleran. That's a very direct ode to another horror movie, and I'm blanking on it.
See,
And
that
I
was...
know who Doc Holleran is
that-
because I watched.
Well, there's Doc Holliday from Tombstone,
Well,
and that was Val Kilmer.
Yeah, we'll move on. It'll come to me.
But hang on a second. I want to point out that Robert Englund's character was like the doctor in Halloween.
Dr. Loomis.
Yes, they took that and put that element in this movie.
They call him an Abraham in this movie. Why an Abraham?
No, not an Abraham. Ahab.
Okay, what? I don't.
Ahab. I'm not as familiar with that book. What was that book called? Moby Dick, right?
Okay.
And so I wonder if it's a reference to that. They tried to explain it in here.
Okay.
But a lot of the things that they explained in here didn't make any sense to me. Like they mentioned a red herring and they explained it completely wrong.
I think that's the point.
What did they explain the red herring as?
The red herring, I'm trying to remember exactly how he put it, but he put it as like, that's the person who's going to defeat me. And I was like, that's not what a red herring is at all. A red herring would be the person that you think is the killer, but it's a red herring. It's meant to trick you to think that's the thing, but it's not. That's a trick. So that's a red herring, where in this, they were saying that the final girl was the red herring, or the first kill was the red herring is what they said.
The first kill.
And
that was Zelda Rubinstein. She's the one that's supposed to set off, because in that's the first kill, because it's she sets the newspaper in there and the I don't know, whatever filament or whatever the fuck
microfiche.
And so she's the first one to get.
I wonder if people know what microfiche is these days.
I have no idea.
But this movie would help explain it.
Well, anybody that does anything with old information should,
but
same thing goes with some of the older car parts, shit like that. You have to look at a microfiche in order to find a lot of the catalog stuff, and I mean, a lot of it's digital now, but that's where it came from.
Well, yeah, you'd go to the library and you'd go in the fucking basement and then you'd find the microfiche thing and go through all the fucking newspaper clippings that is like compacted onto there. But you got Doc Halloran.
Next is Eugene, that old serial killer from the Nathan.
Yes,
who's in his isolation tank for 3 days?
He's Aaron Rodgering it up. In the ground. That's Scott Wilson, who's also.
He's in a bunch of stuff too. He's so familiar. I can't think of anything off the top of my head, but.
The Walking Dead. He was in a Robot Chicken, which is awesome. But yeah, he's one of those people that is kind of
Walking Dead is what I know him from.
What do you call it when it's that guy?
Yeah.
He's one of those guys. So let's see. And then Bridget Newton, which was his wife, who I was looking at, and she's like in all the TV shows.
Yeah.
So
was she like super young?
I think so.
Compared to him, like you.
Yes, this is. I don't know why they always pair like old guys with women that.
Yeah. I wasn't really sure 100% if that was his wife or if it was Leslie's wife.
No, it was his.
Yeah, it's.
I know. I just missed it because I was kind of running around. I was like letting the dogs out and.
Well, you fucking missed it.
It's fine, but we got it. She was very enthusiastic about everything. She was very supportive of Leslie.
Yeah, they both were.
Because she was the surviving girl for
the other guy. Yeah. And so, let's see, what else you got? Who else was in this? Because there were so many people.
Well, we got Nathan Basil,
and that's Leslie
Vernon.
Leslie Vernon, and he was funny.
Do you remember his real name in the movie?
Leslie Mick something. I don't know.
I can't remember.
I don't even know if I.
They only mentioned it a couple times.
Yeah, right at the end when you find out that he's just like a dude from Vegas who is just kind of hopping on the story as an opportunity to get in the slasher game.
Yeah.
So, which I kind of respect. I don't know.
Well, he's very knowledgeable of how he's going to do it, and he pulls it off. And he had this master plan that you don't really know about until the end of the movie.
Yep. And he knew the backstory of this kid who got thrown off. So
Yeah, and he was like perfect way to slide right in.
slide right in there and pull a Jason Voorhees.
Yeah, and be like that sneaky little snake.
It was good though. He did a good job. He did it all the loosening the hammers and the axe heads and nailing the windows shut.
Setting everything up to be perfect. And
Practicing his cardio.
I loved the question about when she was asking him, well, when you're nailing the window shut, but why don't they just break them out? And the look on his face where he's like, I don't really know. They don't do that unless it's on the second floor.
yeah.
Yeah, it's just a touch of that very like
I love that.
subtle
Because
humor.
that half of the horror movies where they do something like that, where they can't get out, instead of breaking the window, they go all the way up to the top and then they break it out and go on the roof.
Yeah.
Or just jump out.
Or jump.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So it's great. I like that he was like very charismatic. He did the magic trick where he was like,
Yeah.
you know, he had the cards in one of the cameraman's pockets. Or
Yeah,
whatever.
he's like talking to like the main lady, and he's like, "Oh, do you got a deck of cards on you?" And she's like, "No." And he like looks at the cameraman. "Oh, you got a deck of cards on you?" And you just hear, "Why would I have a deck of cards on me?" And he's like, "Look in your pocket." And he's like, "Oh man, oh shit, man, that was impressive. How'd you do that?"
And he was sitting in the library. I like this scene where he's like, I don't even remember what he said. He was looking for a book or whatever, and he's like, "Oh, found it." And he just reached behind
it
his
was
head.
this. He goes, "Paradise Lost, found it," and it was like right behind his head.
Yeah, so he's
I liked
just
his
cocky
library
and-
too, which a lot of them were just random textbooks.
Yeah, it was like
Yeah.
a lot of manuals and
Yeah.
stuff, and
Yep.
then that's when he got really excited about the sleight of hand books, and that's when he brought that up. He's like, "Oh yeah, look at this, you know, like Houdini's sleight of hand and whatever."
Yeah, that's cool. You know, he dedicates his life to this slasher thing. You know, I don't know. It's cool, man.
It's to balance out the bad with the good.
Yep. To have good, you gotta have evil.
Yeah, that one guy from Walking Dead explains that whole thing. They're just like, "Why would you do this? Like, what do you get out of it?" And that's
You
when he
have
goes on
to.
his whole tangent. He's like, "There's good, there's evil, and you know, you gotta take the bad with the good."
Yeah,
And
which
so,
is weird, but yeah, I don't believe that necessarily.
That show Supernatural, same thing.
what do you mean?
Remember?
Explain that.
God and his sister, the
Yeah,
good and the light and the dark.
yeah,
If one of them didn't have that, basically everything would be out of balance. And
yeah,
yeah,
yes.
so it's
Balance
the same
is important.
concept.
I don't know. There could be more good than bad, for sure.
Yeah, but you can't appreciate the good without the bad.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
but a lot of it's just based on story, though. You know,
That's true.
I mean, in real life, I think there's a lot more bullshit than there is good
Yeah,
going
that's
around
true.
lately.
For sure. But anyway, what else were we saying? I can't find much for a budget on this movie. I saw one thing that said it was about 250,000, and a lot of that goes to the cast because obviously the cast is
Star-studded.
star-studded for such a like.
And if this movie didn't at least pass its budget, that's sad because it should have
It
easily
was
tripled
made
it.
so well.
Have you heard about the budget?
No, I know nothing about
You
it.
want me to tell you? The
Yeah, tell me.
or not the budget. The budget I don't know, but it's well over what it grossed worldwide, which was $69.1 thousand.
It made nothing.
Nothing.
How?
I'll bet you
It
it had
It just
to.
had no marketing.
Yep,
It had to have been overshadowed by something else.
Correct. I should look up what was coming out in 2006 because, God damn,
2006 might have been Devil's Rejects.
that's so sad.
Well, hopefully that doesn't.
Okay, it came out October 13th of 2006.
That's a great time for a movie to come out.
Yeah, I don't know
Did you
why.
hear that?
What?
I smacked my mic and so it vibrated.
Yeah, it was going.
So yeah, I just
That's a great time for a horror movie to come out. October. You can't ask for a better thing than that. But I
No,
mean,
and it's
maybe
sad that
did it
this
go
movie
straight to DVD or something?
no, it had a limited theatrical release.
Yeah,
I think that's part of the problem. It's too bad that it wasn't
marketed
pushed
better.
more.
Yeah. I mean,
because this is definitely a hidden
what was the
gem.
production company? It wasn't anything huge, so that could have been a part of it.
Yeah, let's see. Production company. I don't know if I can get stuff.
I know I saw it at the beginning and I was like, oh, it's not, that's the thought that I had was,
Well, I'll tell you, it's directed by Scott Glosserman,
who dat?
who he didn't direct too much other than this, to be honest.
Well, he probably got fucking discouraged by the fact that this made nothing
I know, and
and that nobody saw it. It seemed like you're saying it's so shocking that we seen it.
yeah, I don't
It's
know.
sad that it didn't go anywhere.
Maybe this is.
This is good.
Yeah, I'm correct. I always put this like on an underrated horror movie list. Like,
Very underrated.
if you want to, I tell Madison this one's. I think she'd like it.
You know what's great about it?
Oh yeah.
Is the killer? Like you get, I love the fact that like you're kind of rooting for him a little bit.
Yep.
Yeah, it's weird. It plays with that a little bit. It's like really good about endearing you to Leslie, and then when he needs to get scary, and
Yeah, and you see that switch flip
yeah,
where he has to not give a fuck about the people that you would think are his friends.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's terrifying because you know that there's people like that in the real world who can be jovial and charming and fucking talk to you and be like, hey, how are you doing? Let's go out for fucking drinks. And then next thing, like at the same time, he's got a pile of bodies in his fucking closet.
Gacy,
Yeah,
I believe, was
switch on.
well known for that.
Yes, Gacy was one. Dahmer was
BTK.
weird, but BTK.
He was.
Yeah, he was a
I
family
mean, he
man.
was part of the whole community, church, the whole works.
Yeah,
and he had a
everyone's
pretty
like-
dark side.
It goes with that whole like, when they're interviewing the neighbors, like I never would have expected
Never would
it.
have guessed. Yeah.
Like he was such a nice guy.
and it always comes down to the sad fact that like you can't trust anyone,
Yeah,
no matter, and that stuff still goes on today. There's
But-
still weirdos that do that.
Well, it's kind of we've
Every day.
talked extensively about even just something stupid as like the zombie apocalypse. If I don't know who you are, you ain't getting on their group. You're getting shot first. I don't trust anybody.
yeah.
Yeah.
Which is
If you're
sad.
not very close friend or family, absolutely not. Nope.
Yeah. What are you gonna do? Like because sometimes you can't even trust the people that are next to you.
That's
Like,
why
how
I
do I-
said
how do
very
I know?
close friends or family.
How do I know Opie's not gonna turn on me?
I would have turned on you years ago.
Yeah, but
Decades
there's
ago.
not a zombie apocalypse outside.
No, because I might need you in the zombie apocalypse, so I might be coming here in the zombie apocalypse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, I've already got a plan.
We can
Got to
go-
have that in place.
We can go anywhere.
I
'cause
do like
everybody's-
your apartment building for a zombie apocalypse.
Really? I kind of do. I don't know.
Oh, I'd be out here.
I like the idea, not of like if I could take that and move it out to the middle of nowhere, it'd be better.
Problem is cities.
That's what I'm saying. If I could take that building and move it out to the middle of nowhere by itself, like take the whole building, whoop, whoop, blop,
Like
put
the
it
old
somewhere.
school. That's pretty iron.
You know what's for sale?
Is it again?
Yeah, it's for sale. Well, last I looked, it was still for
I
sale.
wonder what he wants for that. That's got to be pretty hefty now.
It wasn't bad, but it's still a gutted place. But it looked like there was still, like the pictures of it.
It's pretty dilapidated.
Well, the
we
pictures
did a
of it,
lot of work on the inside of
the
that.
pictures of it had all of the stuff in it still. Like
Depends
it's
on
still
what's in there.
filled with stuff. Like it was.
Yeah.
What the hell could you possibly do with that building?
Do you want to know what it was used for?
Well, the whole reason for holding that was because there was bad blood. So the guy who owns it, I actually know the guy. I just don't want to say any names.
Yeah,
just in
you
case
don't have to say any names.
this goes somewhere or whatever. The guy who owns it had some bad blood with like the town, who were trying to undermine him so he couldn't purchase it, kind of a deal.
Yep.
And then non-stop were trying to cite him for random shit to get him to lose it. That's where it was like, okay, fine. That's where we put up like the window, like those big black windows that are up there.
Yeah.
That's bulletproof glass from a bank. We went up there on scaffolding and actually put those up there and screwed like supports and stuff. We put that up there. I was part of that.
Damn.
Yeah. So stuff like that to kind of block stuff in to make it look a little better, and just dumb little things like that we had to do to try to keep them off, his back, so they legally couldn't do anything.
But that also made it a better place for a zombie apocalypse.
Yeah.
It's a giant cement building.
Hell yeah.
And I know that place like the back of my hand now.
Yeah, it's also fucking terrifying inside
It is
there.
absolutely terrifying inside, especially when you're in there at night, because we used to sort through all the stuff that he would get,
Yeah.
and we would sell it on eBay. That was part of our job. We'd go through, sort through, list stuff on eBay.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, man, there were some really old chainsaws and stuff that were in there, and there was a guy in Japan that actually ordered this old decrepit chainsaw. Assuming he wanted it for parts, but he paid like $400 for this, bidding against somebody else, and then it cost him another, oh my god, I don't remember, $400 and some dollars or something like that, just for us to be able to ship it to him. It was insane.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yep, old bamboo fishing poles, and these real old ones. We used to sell all kinds of crazy stuff out of there.
Yeah, I remember when that was happening. Actually, a funny story is like when I started building my own computer, Dave was already into it, and he denies this to this day, but I was very frustrated at the time. Dave had already had the skill set to do it, and so we went there and we got computer parts, and then we were like, oh, this is all you'll need. So I started like trying to put it together, and I was like, Dave, I need help. Will you help me figure this out? And your words were, figure it out. Walked away.
It's the way to learn.
Yeah.
It really is.
I mean, I did eventually figure it out.
As horrible and harsh as that kind of sounds, if you hold somebody's hand, constantly or something.
I just needed you to tell me what the codes meant on the fucking motherboard.
Figure it out.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. And now you remember, don't you?
Now it doesn't matter because it's different, but
Yeah.
but back then it was like weirder.
Trying to figure out what processor's good
Yeah,
for
and like
what.
all the little pins, and they didn't have like now that it's like plug and play. Like this connector will only fit here.
Yeah.
But then it was like every single separate one.
Yes, but at the same time, it depends on if it's Intel or AMD. That
Yeah.
that you can't put an Intel processor in an AMD board. It just
No,
won't
but
fit.
like I was talking about like speaker,
But you're right about
the speaker
the
cables.
socket
and
can only fit. Oh, yeah, the pinouts.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was the part that I was like, I don't know what the fuck
The part
I'm doing.
that's nice is a lot of times these cases come with, instead of individual pins, they're one block.
Yeah.
So, because most of the pins are the same. So you can just plug that block in and you're fine. Some, like this one, I don't think did. These, I think, are individual. You just got to know where they're at.
Yeah.
But if you buy the motherboard yourself, the book tells you the pin out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we were getting junkyard parts basically.
Yeah.
And yeah. But anyway, so that place would be
Leslie-
great for a zombie apocalypse.
Yeah. Leslie Mancuso.
Mancuso, that's what it was.
So listen to his powers and skills.
Okay, what's his stat sheet?
He's high intelligent, methodical planning, athleticism, agility, stealth, escape artistry, charisma, deception, and expert on horror legends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which honestly
Makes him a scary motherfucker.
would make such a great fucking franchise.
It really would.
Yeah, that's a sad story because this was actually the director and writer already had 3 movies already kind of worked out,
Yeah.
and this one came out for whatever reason. It fell flat on its face. It's the saddest thing ever, and they didn't want to do the sequel. So they went through the works of trying to get, investors or whatever. It didn't work out. So they did that. What is that thing they do local on the internet?
Like a fundraiser, like a
GoFundMe.
GoFundMe.
Tried that.
Kickstarter.
They did that. Didn't really pan out. And now at this point, they've talked about how that time has kind of come and gone.
No.
They've
absolutely
aged.
not.
No, I think now they could get a fucking Netflix special or
They could do it years later and even have, like, if some of the people were still okay with trying to do it. I mean, yeah, it's a few years later. They look older, but they do that all the time.
Okay.
Make it 15 years later.
Nathan Basil and Robert Englund both loved this movie.
Oh, yeah, I could see why. It was fantastic.
yeah, it's a great fucking film.
Robert Englund, I was watching an interview, and he said that if he had a theater for the night, and he could play 2 movies of his, it
Yeah.
would be this, and I forget the name of the other film that he did, but I hadn't heard of it,
Yeah.
so I just wasn't familiar with it. But
What's really weird to me is that this is one of his top favorite movies that he did. Like, the movie I get, but his role in it, not huge. And I don't know if he even says this. Does he even have any lines?
Yeah.
oh yeah,
Like, does he? I think he's just like, got you now, Leslie, or something
Oh, he
like
said
that.
something like, that's enough, Leslie.
Yeah.
that's true. And he asked the kids, like, how do you know? What are you stalking this girl or what?
Yeah.
And then there's that one part where he's like, it's okay, you're safe, or
Yeah.
whatever. When he's, yeah.
When he was describing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it is a small role, but he loved it, So
That's fair.
I would be super proud of this movie if I was in it because it's
Yeah.
such a good movie. It doesn't matter what.
I wish we could crowdfund to get this done.
Yeah.
I would love to see even a prequel or something,
There would be a lot of people on that bandwagon. Because, yeah, I think this is.
That could be cool to, put out on the internet. Let's do this. Crowdfund this.
Yeah, this movie's
And see what kind of
amazing.
money that people actually could pool together to get something rolling. I think that'd be pretty neat to be able to turn that over to him and be like, here, you got a budget.
Right? I bet you get Nathan Basil and Robert Englund back in there.
That'd be cool to reach
Yeah,
out to
probably.
him.
Fuck yeah.
Wouldn't that be awesome to raise a couple mil?
To make this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All it takes is 1 million people to give $1.
That's true.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know how expensive it is to make movies now either.
No, I'm just saying, there's $1 million to start. You get
Yeah.
one person to hand you $1 million. I mean, they made this for a couple $100,000.
I bet you
You
there-
don't need to have it ridiculously, CGI and everything. I mean, what they did there was fantastic for a couple $100,000.
Yeah, this would hold up right now.
Easy.
I mean,
This
we
held
just
up for
watched
me.
it on that fucking TV, and it looked good to me.
Yeah.
It was no. Oh fuck! No, I can't remember.
But
the name.
I really
It's
think
no Avatar. Or
even if it
anything,
wasn't
but
a movie, I think that this could get greenlit for
A
a fucking
series.
series.
They
yeah.
live.
They live what?
They live is the movie that we watched on here that blew my mind.
Oh yeah.
Because in the beginning of that movie, he's walking through like a train yard, and there's graffiti, and it just looked on that TV. It just looked like you were looking through glass. It was amazing.
Yeah.
Anyway, I wanted to talk about where to stream some of these movies that we talk about, and this one is on AMC Plus. It is free on YouTube. It's like a pirated version, but it's fine. It looked fine. I didn't.
This was
Yeah, and where did you say you got it?
Amazon.
Amazon.
Okay, because it's on an Apple TV and Google Play, so it's out there. I think it's really hard to get on DVD. I don't know if
I wanted to see if I have it on DVD. If that's how I watched it. If I bought it somewhere.
Gosh, if you did, I'd fucking steal it.
I'll be back. I'm gonna look. You keep talking.
Okay.
At least yours are alphabetically listed. That helps.
Yeah, that's true. That's how I've got mine. That's the only way to do it. But let's see.
My whole collection is all digital.
Did you have a favorite part or a favorite kill? What'd you think of the ending? How about that? Like
I would say my favorite part, the kills.
how like Leslie died, or
or how he supposedly died. That was pretty cool. I enjoyed that. I think one of my favorite parts though was when she snapped to the realization that, oh my God, this whole thing wasn't even about that other girl. This was about me.
Yeah.
And she's just like, oh my God.
They executed that twist really
beautiful.
well.
Yeah.
Because they walk in the room and they're expecting to find the virgin of the fake group.
Yep.
You
And
know?
she's just riding away.
Yeah, she's really like riding some dude. And you kind of realize, oh, this girl's not virgin.
Yeah, she's not the virgin.
No. So that's when, there's a little bit of confusion there with the cast, but eventually they're like, oh, you're the virgin. In reference to
Taylor,
yeah,
I think.
Taylor. So I thought that was executed super well. The only criticism that I really hear this movie get, which is not a criticism from me, but it's that once that twist happens, after that, it turns into a kind of a cliche horror film. But I like that. I like that they.
But that's how it was completely set to be.
Yeah,
by him. That was the plan.
That was the master
plan. And it
plan.
followed his master plan.
Yeah.
And it
because
shows...
he even did the whole fruit press, the juicer thing. He set all of that up because he said it is going to be used.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he
Yep.
put all those seeds in her head, and that's when you can and it doesn't explain that to you. You can put that together yourself, and it doesn't treat you like an idiot.
He could have set that up so that knowing that his head was going to be in there,
That it broke.
Or it
Maybe it
crush
did.
his head.
Maybe it did, because guess what happens at the end of the movie? He's not dead.
Right, for sure. But I don't know. This is I would give it a 10 because I don't have a lot of criticisms for it. But I can't give it a 10 because I don't know. A 10's reserved for
perfection.
Yeah. Which is only in Killer Clowns from Outer Space. That's
No, God damn it. Why is that always your favorite?
I get a kick out of that movie too.
Because it knows exactly what it is and it pulls it off.
And it's ridiculous.
And it's perfect.
It is ridiculous, that's for sure. I don't even remember what I rated it.
I don't remember either.
Because you lost your stupid notebook.
Wah, wah.
Maybe we'll just have to rewatch it.
Yeah, I'd love to.
Yeah.
I would love that.
I'm up for that one. That's a good one.
Yeah. So let's see. Should we do ratings?
I guess we can talk about ratings. What?
I'm-
So what are you at? Where are you at?
I mean, this is a easy 9.5 for me
Okay, why?
because it's almost perfect.
What takes it away? What brings it down a half a point?
Because it can't be perfect. It's no Killer Clowns from Outer Space. It'll
That's
give it-
your perfect ass movie.
Yes, that's a perfect movie. But this one is really good. I love it. It's got a twist. It's got a vibe change at the end. I always love that.
Yeah.
When a movie can kind of switch genres seamlessly or kind of transform what it is.
So you like the fact that it went from a horror comedy to a horror?
Well, it's not like it's a horror comedy to a horror. It's like a horror documentary style to.
But it stuck to its
a
guns the whole
traditional
time
horror.
and didn't try to do anything else except for that one simple thing that it was doing.
Yes.
I think I like the fact that you can see the moment it switches is when they're at the van and she makes the decision to go and tell them to get the fuck out of Dodge. And then you see the crew.
Yep.
The camera is no longer in the hands of the documentary people.
Yep.
Yeah. Essentially, that's the moment it changes, but it kind of does that seamlessly because you're listening to that cameraman and the audio guy throughout the movie. You're just not seeing them.
Yeah, but it's
So
also
they're characters
filmed.
that you just don't see.
It's filmed handheld the whole beginning of the movie.
And then
A
it
lot of it.
switches to a more cinematic
Yep, and
thing
that
at the
in that
end.
moment it goes boom and starts to pan out a little bit, and then you see the crew, and now you see these voices that you've been hearing.
And then when the crew realizes, oh my God, we're actually part of this fully now, he's adapted to, we're going to die.
Yep. And they
Yep.
do. And they do.
Well, not
Except
all
for
of
our
them.
final girl, but that was the plan.
Not all of them, though.
Because in the sequels, the plan is for those two to their characters to kind of
The doctor
develop.
and the audio guy were still alive at the end.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
Remember?
He smashed his head into the thing, and he didn't kill him.
that's right. You got to go through me, and he just like bashes his head.
Bonked him. Gave him a little bonk.
It was kind of weak, but he made it. So I'm glad they weren't like, yeah, that killed him.
Yeah.
And the camera guy, though, he killed him, but it was a quick, merciful.
Yeah.
Yes.
It did.
There was no.
It was one of those awkward, like, I didn't like the feeling that I had listening to him be like, nah, man, we're friends. We're friends. You know, like Leslie. It reminded me of the scene in Saving Private Ryan when there's a guy on top of the other guy with a knife and he's slowly pushing it into his chest.
Yeah.
And the guy's like, no. And the guy pushing the knife in is just going, shh, shh, shh. And I was like, ugh, I hate it.
Yeah.
Right. And so that's the feeling that I had watching that when he was just like, no, Leslie, we're friends. Let me see your face. And he like pulls the mask off of him. But you can see he's just dead.
Yeah.
He's dead inside. He's like, he's got his mission and that's what he's going to do.
And that's what I like about this is because he's been working on that his whole life. He's been setting all this up. So he executes it perfectly. In the end, he executed his plan perfect. So Leslie Vernon can keep going and there can be sequels.
Yeah.
And he did it.
Do you remember
And-
in the beginning?
And there's surviving cast to
Yeah.
go along in these sequels.
There's your whole Gale situation, like Scream,
Oh, yeah.
right? And it's a reporter situation, so there's that aspect into it. Even though, yeah, this came out before that or
No,
after that.
this
I
is-
mean,
yeah, this is 2000.
I was thinking like Scream came out before this,
Yeah.
so that was also a part of this. So there's the meta aspect of it too.
Yep.
But earlier in the movie, like when he's explaining about like all the groups of kids.
Yeah.
He's like, you got to get like the jocks and you got to get some of the nerds in there. And like those guys, I can easily outrun them. So like that.
Oh, yeah, the stoners.
And then they got the virgin girl walk by and they're like, oh, how do you know she's a virgin? And he's just kind of like, look at her. Right. And then she stops and looks at the like camera. And then all of a sudden you hear like Leslie, like, oh my God, did you guys feel that? Like we locked eyes. We had a soul connection right there. Like, that's crazy. That's awesome.
Yeah. It's like weird serial killer stalker shit, you know?
Yeah, but that's what he said was like, oh, that's weird. That's awesome. Like, we just shared a moment. Like, we could sense each other.
Yeah.
This is weird. It's weird.
Good.
Yeah, so this movie was written great. The acting was amazing. So you know what? I'm having a hard time finding anything that I could go down on. Because I like to start at a 10 and go down.
Yep.
I think I got to give this a 10.
Holy shit.
I think I gotta. I
Say I think that's your first 10.
Yeah, I don't think because I've always wanted to like I was waiting for the moment to find something that like I got nothing. I got no reason to bring this down. I had nothing to chip away at it. It's got so many aspects I love. It's meta. It's funny in all the right places. It has great twists. And then the ending scene, the credits has Talking Heads, Psycho Killer, which is a great song.
Yeah.
And then it's got like entertainment. So you're waiting. And then you're not sure if he's going to kill this guy at the end. But you do definitely see him sit up on that fucking gurney.
Yep.
And then it goes black and it's over.
Yeah. But that's what I mean. It was entertainment from start to finish, all the way through the credits. It was awesome.
Yeah. So
And it
I'm
leaves you
going.
with that rockin' fucking song in your head. It's
This
awesome.
is my number 1. This is my 10.
This is your Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
This is my Behind the Mask.
Okay.
So I'm kind of on the same, kind of like Opie. I've got like my primo.
What is your primo? Have you found it yet?
Event Horizon.
Okay.
You remember that?
Yeah, we watched that.
That is one of my actual horror movie 10s. That it fits everything that I look for usually in a movie like that. I'm a big space fan too.
Hell yeah.
So
Yeah, you like
that
those.
that helps.
I want to know, because we should do this. Alien Romulus.
Is that the new one?
Yeah, you want to see that?
Oh, damn
We
right.
can see that in theaters. It's probably out right now.
We should binge all the Alien movies because I want to see
Let's
them.
do it.
Is that the Prometheus?
I believe I own the 2 new ones.
Okay.
Did I buy those on
I
Voodoo?
feel like you did.
Yeah, Prometheus and the other one.
I have at least the first 3.
Because I know I own. I'm pretty sure the 2, Prometheus, and I can't remember what the other one is called. But those 2 that were when he came back and redid.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I definitely saw it on there because I've been meaning to watch those 2,
I love
but
them.
I wonder.
I
if should,
haven't seen those.
watch them
Does
all.
Alien versus Predator count in this canon? Like in this, like if you were gonna say starting with Alien to Aliens, Alien
I
3.
would say yes,
Yes, but
but I don't know.
maybe I would almost try to stick to just the Alien stuff.
Is this a situation
Because then
where
we can go Predator after and then combine the 2.
Hell yeah.
is this a situation where you would have to like watch it in chronological order, or would you put it up?
I would do chronological because
Meaning like
starting with Prometheus and,
Okay.
and the other one, because that explains how like the aliens were created, like how they
Okay.
came to be,
okay.
which I thought was fucking awesome. I loved it. I loved both of them.
It's
I was a massive fan of them.
I don't know why, but it always feels weird that Dave's such a like. It doesn't feel like it's a movie that you're super into, and I don't know
The alien
why. I
stuff?
know it is.
Oh yeah,
I know it is. Pop quiz. What are they called?
Xenomorphs.
Nailed it. He didn't even hesitate. What?
I knew that too. I have a Pokemon named after Xenomorph.
You have a Pokemon named Xenomorph? In like Pokemon Go?
Yeah, every one of my Pokemons
Pokemons?
are they're named after different horror people,
Yeah?
like Babadook and Bagul and
Yeah? Gabagool?
Bagul. Bagul is
What is that?
Sinister. That's the monster in Sinister,
I don't think I've seen that one.
the creature or whatever the hell, demon.
But guess what? We got distracted. What the fuck is your rating?
9.5.
Yeah, 9.5.
Yep. It can't quite hit the 10 for me. I haven't found one that.
There wasn't
This
enough
is close.
space.
This is very close.
Hell
I mean,
yeah.
this movie was fantastic.
I would recommend
It's so
this to
sad
anyone.
that this didn't do better.
I'm with
This
you.
should have been right up there with the premium movie. The ones that just crushed their box office numbers.
There could be.
What
I
is
would
it?
rather see a Leslie Vernon franchise over a Terrifier.
Oh, by far.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't
So,
know. That's kind of a.
I
maybe
think
a-
it could be more successful because it could reach more of an audience where Terrifier is gore porn.
Yeah. See, the first one
I love.
was all right. It was good. I enjoyed it. The second one, not as big of a fan of.
And there's a third one that's coming out that I imagine it's going to be more of the same. And
I
I
mean,
love art.
We're gonna watch it, but
Yeah.
it's.
It's
I don't
gonna be
have
more
high
of the
hopes
same,
after
yeah.
the second one.
Right.
That one I didn't care for as much.
I didn't hate it, but it was just like,
But you're looking for some answers and
Yeah.
not more of gore. And you just kind of get more gore. And
Yeah, I wanted to know more about who the fuck that guy is,
Yeah.
what his thing is. And maybe the third one will do that, so that's why I'm going to
Not
watch
how
it.
she went through a portal on the floor with a sword and all that shit.
Oh my God, I
don't
forgot
know.
about that.
Just, I mean, it was worth watching. It just,
Yeah.
I mean, it was pretty meh. Not my cup of tea, but it wasn't bad. I mean, if you're into,
Yeah, I didn't hate it.
if you're into bloody torture porn, you probably will like it.
Each one of those had that scene of like.
Oh yeah.
my God.
Yeah, and you can tell the second one was like, we're gonna ramp it up.
Yeah. And so the third one is going to have to ramp
It's
it
gonna have to ramp it up. It's gonna have to try to do something else. But I want it to answer those questions. Like, what who the fuck is this guy?
Here's another one. Are we going to step foot into the human centipede stuff
I would say that one might fall into the category of
with
like,
Cannibal Holocaust?
Yeah, of like.
I was just.
Yeah, but would you have to do like cannibal? Would you do human centipede, then something else to break it up as far as like something still fucked
In
up?
honesty, the first one is more than enough. The second one kind of sucked, and I don't. There's supposed to be a third. Is there a third?
I have no idea.
I know there was
probably, like,
supposed to be a third, but I don't know if it even got made. I don't know anything about it.
The human millipede.
Human millipede?
That one, after the second one with the sandpaper, nope. Didn't care for that one.
Yikes. I don't even
The
know.
first one was kind of, ugh. That was kind of too much.
Yeah, I never actually watched that movie.
I think I seen the second one, but I think I blocked it out of my head.
That's fair.
The second one, yeah,
And it's sad that I remember seeing more of that than this because this movie was way better.
yeah.
I'm shocked. Yeah, I'm shocked that you guys were like, "Oh, I've seen this before."
I've seen this and then forgot
And then
about it.
forgot about it.
And that sucks. That sucks because it deserves better than that.
It does. It deserves so much better than it got.
After I started watching it, I recognized it right away. I
Really?
mean, it took, about 10 minutes in, and then I was like, oh, I know I've seen this.
You know what else I liked about this? I liked the way he looked as a killer.
Yeah,
Like his mask, his outfit.
is recognizable. It's a weird mask. I don't know what the fuck that's supposed to be.
I know. I kind of want you know how like people buy like the hockey mask and then people will
Leslie
buy
Vernon mask.
Yeah. Why can't we get? Why? This movie deserves better.
Because
Yeah.
his outfit is just like overalls and like a weird ripped up
Shirt.
T-shirt thing.
like thermal.
And then he's got the his weapon. What is it? I want to say a scythe, but it's like a handheld one.
Yeah.
Sickle.
A sickle.
Yeah, a little handheld sickle.
Yeah. And that worked pretty slick. I mean,
Yeah.
he got poked in the ribs himself with
Like
it once,
I said,
but
he was barefoot, which is a character thing.
yeah, you said that. You're like, check it out, he's barefoot, and you were like, that was a decision by Nathan, whatever his name is.
Nathan Basil, yeah.
Yeah.
He just
And
decided.
I was like, why? And you were like, because he thought it would be like a character thing. I don't know.
he thought it'd be cool.
I
He's
said
really
that,
into
and you were like, no, it was a character decision because this was he was in character.
He's getting more.
If you wore glasses, you would have pushed them up with your pointer finger right in the middle. You'd have been like, it was his character choice.
He is good though. I like Nathan Basil.
Yeah, that dude was good. He was a great actor.
I'm surprised he's
Fantastic.
not in more stuff. It's sad. This is kind of.
You know what? He kind of, when I first saw him, I was like, that dude reminds me so much of Timothy Oliphant.
Yes.
You thought that
I thought
too?
the same thing when
Okay.
it first flashed on.
Yeah.
Timothy Oliphant.
You should know who that is.
I'm gonna look him up.
The porn
Can you-
director guy and the girl next door.
Yes, specify that that's a movie to character,
Yes.
and that he's not a porn director in the
Okay, 'cause I
real
was
world.
gonna
But
be
he's
like,
in,
oh, shit.
in that movie.
And that's what you know him from? I know him from so many other things.
Yeah,
he's in
in a lot.
Justified, which
Yeah, but half the times I don't watch most of the shit that you watch.
that's true.
This guy.
Yes.
Okay.
Does he look familiar to you?
Yeah. He's in shit, man.
He's in that TV show that I think only had one season.
He's in Scream 2.
What is that TV show where he's in with Drew Barrymore?
Scream 2.
Scream 2, yeah.
What's that one he's
Didn't
in
he
with?
play like a cop or some shit?
Man, fuck if I know.
I don't remember.
I don't know.
What's that show? Was where she's a zombie, and he's trying to find the cure. I know you've seen it. I know you've seen it. It's got Drew Barrymore.
Drew Barrymore. Oh my God, what is that called?
The Night Was Dark.
No, it's probably still on Netflix, but I think they only did one season of it, and I was bummed.
Santa Clarita Diet.
Yes, and it's got Nathan Fillion, and he's just ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was in The Crazies.
The Crazies?
Oh, that's
yeah.
right. The Crazies. That's a good movie, too.
Yeah.
Have we done that one yet?
I don't believe so.
I don't think so.
That one we have to do.
Yeah.
That one is good, too.
As a matter of fact, we should start thinking about what we're going to watch next, because do you got a plan for...
For what do we want to watch next? We'll figure it out.
This is
so we're
what
on the
movie,
meta streak,
I was gonna
right?
say movie 2 of meta.
This is 3.
3?
Because we did... Well, what was the first one? That and the last
the
one...
Exorcism.
Yeah, The Exorcism with Russell Crowe.
Yeah.
And then we did Wes Craven's New Nightmare. And now Behind the Mask, which is right in the name of it. It's like, this is a fucking meta-ass movie.
Yeah. I love this. This is such a good, I don't have much to complain about.
I don't have anything to complain about. I couldn't find anything that it was like, they're like, oh, they fucked this up. No, it was all good.
It was
It's kind
very
of
good.
2006, but in a good way. It wasn't like stupid. It was just,
funny.
yeah.
It was really, it was done so well.
It was like
It's
Tucker
so
and
sad
Dale.
that it didn't make it.
Tucker and Dale
Tucker-
versus...
Yeah,
That's
their
a
level
great
of
movie,
like
too.
how they execute the dark humor, and they do it subtly, and they're making fun of the horror movies, but respectfully.
I love the fact that the two are just so stupid in that kids are, he dove head first into the chipper as they were trying to knock him in there and he moved at the last minute.
Yeah.
They're part of a suicide cult.
Yeah. That movie is brilliant. So, I love these movies that kind of poke at horror.
I guess we could kind of go into another comedy horror, just a transition a little bit. Unless you can think of another, like, meta movie that, like, you want to...
We've done quite a few of the big
What
ones.
about Scream?
Didn't we do Scream?
If you want to do Scream, sure.
Did we do... I don't think we did
thought-
Scream.
Maybe not.
Either way, if we did, it's in the vault.
Scream. Is that the one that has... What is his name? Playing the cop.
David Arquette.
Arquette.
Yeah, he plays the
Okay.
cop.
Doofy.
But I don't know if we did this one. Did that one?
Mom told me not to. Told you not to bother me while cleaning my room.
That's a different movie. That is a different movie, David.
He said doofy. That's why I said.
I love those movies too. I love,
The scary movie ones.
yeah.
I got you a nice pack for your sand. I'll go get you one for your head.
All the jokes are the same and they're stupid as fuck,
But that one, the first scary movie, was the best.
Yeah.
The second one was funny. I got a kick out of that one. Take my strong hand. That one's
the
good.
Second one?
That's the second one.
Okay.
Yep. After that, they kind of sucked.
Oh, that's so good.
The third one, I want to say,
I wouldn't say they
had,
sucked, but it was just like
the,
I think that people were getting kind of over it because there was that whole time frame of when they were
it's
just
just
taking
the way they went
genre
about, like
comedies.
the third one. I didn't care for as
Yeah,
much.
but they had to try to take whatever current movies there were and
Yeah.
make fun of them. They were trying to do the Weird Al thing.
I mean, it was funny. Just it didn't feel the same.
Yeah.
Yeah. The first one by far was the best.
Yeah.
That one was so funny.
Yeah, for sure. But I still like all the other ones.
Yeah.
Yep. They're like a weird guilty pleasure. Like I think of that, the one where it's Charlie Sheen and
That's the third one.
that funny guy, and he's
Oh, is that when they're doing like signs?
he wants to be a rapper, but he's in signs. Yeah.
Okay, so that's
Swing
like
away.
And they kick each other in the nuts to say hello.
Yeah.
that's a good movie. Like Signs is a good movie. Actually, do you want to know what movie I want to do?
What?
And I don't think we've done it.
What?
And it's a movie I've just wanted to rewatch, so I was like, let's do it for the podcast. Sixth Sense.
That's been a long time since I've seen that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I like about that idea?
I see dead people.
Yeah, I know, but like that was the first movie that Opie saw as like that got him that he couldn't finish.
That's true. It's the first movie that ever like scared me. It made me fucking run away.
yeah, he couldn't finish it, and I was like, ooh, I need to see that now.
I was proud to learn as an adult that I did go back to the movie a couple weeks later and finish it.
Yeah,
But yeah,
because that was I don't know. You've probably heard that story, right, Dave? So when we were younger, I would say we were in Solon at the time. So it was like he was probably 13, I was 15, right? Our aunt Monica took us separately down to the cities, to the Mall of America, and there was a movie theater in there, right? And so she had brought him first down and watched The Sixth Sense.
yep.
And then I think it was like the next week, I went down there and I watched The Blair Witch.
We haven't watched that yet, have we?
No.
I don't think we have. But we could do Sixth Sense and then The Blair Witch and have that be our little quick theme. And then
Yeah.
whatever movie fucking got you when you were little. Like a movie when you were younger.
It wasn't when I was little.
Did you not watch movies when you were little or what? Like horror movies?
Not really. When I was a little older, I'll have to think about that one.
I could name a movie that I know that you don't like.
Yep, I know exactly which one you're going to say.
But I don't know if I'm willing to watch that. I don't think you're willing to watch it.
I don't watch that one either.
Is this a good example?
Yeah.
Okay.
Question. I'm gonna name a couple movies that are meta, and see if you're interested. Did we talk about the movie Peeping Tom?
I don't think so.
It rings a bell in my brain, but I don't think that I've seen it.
It's from 1960. It's about a guy.
Of course it is. You love these old ass movies.
Well, I'm looking at meta horror movies, and this is the number one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it's like he's filming people as he like stabs them.
Okay.
It's really good. I've seen it.
Is it like video game style where you like see the hand?
No, it's like a camera, like an old. It's good. You'd like it.
Yeah, but in the 60s, the cameras were the size of a fucking chair.
Yeah, and that's what it looks like. It's ridiculous. You'll see it, or maybe I don't know. The Cabin in the Woods. Have you ever seen that?
Is that with the guy from Boy Meets World?
Cabin in the Woods. Is
I
that
have
the
no
one where it's
idea.
got some weird dimensional
Hang on a
shit
second.
underneath of it with a bunch of monsters?
Correct.
That one's not bad.
Okay,
I've seen that one.
that one's a good one. And then number 3 is Behind the Mask: The Rise of Leslie Vernon. And then number 4 is Scream. Wow. Zombieland.
I like how Leslie Vernon beat Scream
Yeah.
on the
too.
list,
I
and
like
it
this
should
too.
have done better.
There's one that I hate this movie, and I'll bite the bullet and watch it for this podcast, but I'd let you know I fucking hate this movie. It was so stupid. It's
What?
It's called Funny Games. And
Why have I heard that?
That sounds familiar, but I don't think I've seen it.
they remade it, and they might have remade it again, but it was
Funny
real dark
Games.
from like the 60s. And should I kill it for you?
It kind of sounds familiar.
Should I ruin it for you? Should I wreck this piece?
Yeah,
is it
go for
is
it.
it kind of like a House on Haunted Hill situation?
No, it's a lady and her husband are hanging out at home on a nice day, and 2 young teenagers show up to. They turn it into torture and murder. They kind of work their way into the house, kind of manipulate the 2 of them, and then they end up killing one of them and like keeping the woman, and like I think they're gonna assault her,
Okay.
and she gets the upper hand and gets out. And what happens is, the twist is that the kid this dickhead kid that came in picks up the TV remote and starts, rewinding and rewinds time and sets it up so that he can get out and kill her.
That's fucking weird.
It's stupid. It's I fucking hated it. I was like,
All right.
what kind of dumbass
How-
imaginary
that's dumb.
bullshit is that?
That is kind of dumb. That's like when I left the movie X-Men Days of Future Past, I was fucking pissed.
Days
It's
I
a
walked
good
out of
movie.
that theater and I was like, the last 7 years of my life are just trash because none of this fucking happened.
But that's how time travel and that kind of crap works. That's what sucks.
Yeah, and it
You know?
bothers me. Like time travel movies, like there's so many rules and whatever, and trying to figure it out. Do you think Predestination? Do you think Predestination is a horror movie?
We'll have to look.
Okay.
I don't know if that one's considered horror or not.
Yeah, I don't know.
I know it's considered like a mind-bending thriller kind of a deal.
Yeah, because like,
But I don't know if there's any real horror.
I think it's a good idea for us to kind of broaden our strokes. And I'm not saying that we should do that movie, but I do think that we should get into things
I
like.
think Opie should watch that.
I definitely think you should watch that movie.
That movie's fucked.
I remember how excited you were for me and Donnie to watch it.
That one was just. Wolf.
Yeah. Okay, without saying anything more about that, because he needs to see it. But like tapping into those movies also, because like another movie that I think is fucking great is the movie Primal Fear, which I wouldn't necessarily consider a horror movie, but it's a psychological. You have a weird look on your face. Why?
I don't know. I'm trying to think if I know what that is.
It's got Edward Norton and Richard Gere, and a lot of it is courtroom shit.
I don't know.
It
could be.
So the idea is, and right away out the beginning, they establish that there is a priest who was murdered, and the altar boy, played by Edward Norton, is on the run, and then he gets caught, right? And so Richard Gere is his lawyer, and the movie unfolds from there. So it's more of a psychological thriller kind of thing, where they're trying to like piece together what the fuck happened.
Yeah, I
Is
don't know.
Richard
Stuff
Gere
like
the
that.
one that had that big old rumor going around that he stuffed a gerbil in his ass?
That'd be
I
like the
thought
same
that
guy?
was David
Okay.
David Duchovny.
No, it's definitely Richard Gere
Really?
for sure.
All right.
For sure.
Yeah.
I seen it with my own.
You
eyes.
seen the gerbil?
Yes.
You watched the gerbil come
Oh,
out of
yeah.
his butthole?
Yeah.
His poo hole.
Yeah.
I'm sure that probably didn't happen, but
Yeah,
I know that was a big
What
old
a-
rumor.
Yeah, how does that start? And then,
Yeah, but the weird thing
such
is
a
that's
terrible rumor to have.
pre-internet too.
yeah, that's what I mean. Like, how did that start? And that's a really sad rumor to have about you.
There was another one of those rumors
You just need to own it.
that was pre-internet that is like, how the fuck did we all know this? Like the S thing, you know, when you draw the three lines, then the three lines, you make the triangles, you make that S, right? The S from the 90s.
That looks like a
Like,
screw.
how the fuck did we all know how to do that?
Because we all saw it on TV on the same. Because our generation watched the same 50 channels or whatever the fuck, and some commercial. It's the same as when you see a nostalgic.
The same four channels, you
Instagram
mean?
Yeah, you know, we all saw it. Skinnamarink dinky dink. You know the song.
Yeah, but now
'Cause
they're
we
trying to
all
tell
watched
us that that didn't exist. I'm getting sick of these Mandela effects, because there was one the other day that they were like, I think we just talked about this the other day. Apparently, it's a Mandela effect that Walmart had aquariums.
That's not true.
You remember that, right?
Yeah, that
Yeah, that's a real
happened.
thing.
That wasn't.
But
that
now there's
long
people
ago.
trying to say that that wasn't a thing.
I don't know. People are
That
stupid.
Walmart
man.
had aquariums?
Yeah, you don't remember that?
We can't.
No,
Just- oh,
what's the Mandela that they actually don't have them?
Yeah, they're trying to say that that never was a thing.
That they never had fish?
Yeah.
I guess I don't fucking remember.
You don't remember Walmart having fish tanks? Oh, I remember.
I never
I do.
really paid much
Actually, I
attention
think-
to that.
You know, they used to have guns too.
Yeah.
You know.
But after Columbine, they fucking got
ammo.
rid of them.
Hmm.
They still sell ammo.
Yep.
And knives. But they don't sell guns anymore. They sell like BB guns. And like those like those little tiny water pellet guns.
What's all that stuff is boggles my head anyways. Those big stores like that, I mean, you got to jump through so many hoops to even get one. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? The paperwork, and I mean, it's
Yeah.
not easy.
I kind of
No.
hope so. It's a serious fucking thing.
Yeah.
There's a lot of idiots out there with guns that are making it not look so good.
Yeah, that's true.
It's a sad reality.
We live in a fucked up place, but that's all right. We just gotta keep talking about fucking movies and making people laugh.
Well, you know, I don't know what to watch next. Scream.
We'll figure it out.
What was that one that you listed that you wanted? I can't remember now. There was one before that.
It said Scream. I said, I see dead people. That one.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
The Sixth Sense. What do you think of that?
I mean, I'll watch it. I'll certainly watch it.
I mean, I pushed for this. No, I didn't. Did I? I think you
we'd
did.
Be straying from meta though if we watched that one.
Yeah.
Right.
So what was the list again? Run through that quick.
Oh, geez, Louise. Now I left that list. No,
This was on the list. This was like number 3.
Mm-hmm. This one beat Scream, according to the meta list.
Is number 1, which is
Peeping Tom.
The Cabin in the Woods. Have you seen that?
I don't think. I think I own it, but I don't think I've seen it.
I think I
You haven't
own
seen
it.
the one?
I might have seen it, but it might have been a long time ago.
Like when it first came out in 2011.
Yeah.
That's when I watched
Or it was something that I like bought it when it came out on DVD and then meant to watch it but never got around to it.
I remember thinking it was awesome when I watched it. So
Or I watched it and forgot about it more so than I forgot about this.
Is there any other random meta shit that Opie hasn't seen?
There's
That's going to be a tough one.
There's I've seen Scream, Zombieland, Funny Games, Tucker and Dale, New Nightmare, Man Bites Dog from 1992. Listen to this. A film crew follows a ruthless thief and heartless killer as he goes about his daily routine, but complications set in when the film crew lose their objectivity and begin lending a hand.
Okay. That's kind of like what happened here.
Yeah, because when I was watching reviews and stuff, they talk about this Man Bites Dog, which I've never even really heard of before.
Should we watch that one?
Maybe.
Have you seen it?
No, I've
Have
never
you seen
even
it?
fucking heard of it.
Never even heard of it.
Neither have I. I think we should do it for that one because it's like we all have seen this one and forgot that we saw it, except for Opie was like, this is my favorite movie.
Man Bites Dog. 1992 film. It looks, what's the word? Grungy.
Yeah?
NC-17. Comedy crime.
All right.
All right, well, let's do that one.
It says...
Is that one under horror, though?
I mean, no.
We don't have to discuss this while we're recording.
Yeah, that's true.
But...
Should we end it?
Yeah, we should end it. We should say that we're on all the socials.
Yep.
And we're also on everything you can listen to podcasts on. Except for, I don't think I'm on Pandora, but...
Okay. I listen to us on Spotify.
Do you?
Yep.
So yeah, it's Red Flags Podcast, like REDFLGS Podcast on YouTube and Instagram and Facebook. And then it's also Red Flags Pod, REDFLGS POD on Twitter or X or whatever you want to call that thing. But yeah, I think
Twixer.
I think that I think we should call her. What do you say?
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.
Be back next week with another meta horror.
Another meta ass horror movie.
So until then.
And then the gross stuff yet to come.
The gross stuff yet to come.
That's going to be a rough one.
Yeah. All right, well, I guess we're just going to say goodbye.
Bye.